Hey everybody, welcome. And I think somebody's coming in. Look at the beautiful crystal ball. And poof,
Hello,
we
darlings.
have
Ooh,
Glenda.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you,
Oh,
Indigo Witch of Good Witch of the
the
South.
South. Yay. And I think we got another one coming in on their broom. Do 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 do. And poof.
Ah,
Ah,
yes. It's
we have
the
the
Wicked Witch
Wicked
of the
Witch of the
West.
West. And
Beautiful, darling.
Hello,
we
Glinda and the
arrived on
Witch
our
of the South.
brooms, didn't
I
we?
did.
Elphaba,
I
good to
did.
see you.
It was painful, but I did arrive on the broomstick. But,
Okay, honey, if you can't, hey, this girl drives stick. If you can't,
I came in a bubble.
yes,
I think
she
it's the
came
yes,
in.
that is more comfortable of a bubble.
Hello everybody, and welcome, and thank you for joining the lovely Tanji, Miss Roman Biscotti,
Thank
and the
you.
most devilishly handsome Wicked Witch of the West, Mr. Ben from Beneficial Tarot. Or maybe not Warlock. No, he's more of a good witch. Oh, all right, wait a minute. Well,
It yeah.
maybe he's the 50 Shades of Grey witch. The 50 Shades.
Oh, now you're talking.
Coming to a collab
Woo!
theater soon.
Oh, he's not
OnlyFans.
the only one that came.
We've
Oh,
got fans. Get the fans out.
yes. I practice. There we go.
Hey, Heather, that you've got it, girl.
When it wants to work.
Right? Mine's backwards. Always hit myself in the face. Like,
I do too. So, everybody, thank you for joining us. Today, we wanted to read on the legendary Judy Garland because she would have been 100 years old this month on
yeah.
June 10th. And what I didn't realize is that she died the same month as her birth on the 22nd at the age of 49. So she died a couple of years younger than what I met. So that was very sobering. But wow, what an incredible life she had. And we all know Tanji does third eye reading, so I won't give out too much information. However, she was an American actress, singer, and dancer. She was born in 1922 and she passed in 69, but this would have been her 100th birthday. Many, many film roles that she had, but best known as Dorothy Gale in the 1939 The Wizard of Oz. So, as you can see, that's the one we chose to represent. Yes. And I also brought my little wand too. Ben, you want to share your one? Oh, and Sandy with her one.
I
We've
got my
all got
glow
our
stick.
special ones.
Yes. My, yours is bigger than
I
mine, Ben.
get to see my way through the bubble later.
Well, it's not the size though; it's what you do with these ones that counts.
Yes.
Right?
And Tangy with you, it's the bubble. So watch how you're driving that bubble. The way she
I
was
will.
coming in, y'all. You see that?
Right.
Little off, a little,
Reflective.
little too much of the bubbly. Yes, Kristen, she did
Bubbly.
die very young. And as we all know, she did die from a barbiturate overdose because she did have, like a lot of stars and musicians that we lose a little too young, too early. But instead of focusing on that, I would just love to focus on the beauty
Yeah.
of her life. And her daughter, Liza, still going,
Still
going
kicking.
strong.
Love her. I love Liza Minnelli.
So
Yeah.
I figured to maybe start, if Tanji, is there anything that you would like to share that you love about Judy Garland and her movies?
Sure. Well, ever since I saw The Wizard of Oz, I was like, I knew right away that there was this other place, not just one, many, but she was my connecting go between from the 3D to realize there are other places, whether you've been there in your mind or you've experienced something different. We all know, a Wicked Witch. We all know a Glinda. We all know my favorite professor. I always forget his name. Marveloso. I
Oh,
forget him. I
yes.
always forget his name. but we all know somebody who can relate to that. But it
Mhm.
was her. It was the idea of her being privileged. To me, I was like, how lucky is she to get to go to another dimension?
Mhm.
And that's what sucked me into that whole world. Once I saw the castle, the Wicked Witch, the flying monkeys, the whole story, everything, and then watched it over and over throughout. Like every year, I watch it at least once. I have it on DVD.
Mhm.
It's the magic when as a little kid watching this and connecting with this and just knowing all the lines by heart, going to school, singing the songs, being Dorothy, being all the characters is a huge part of who I am. Hello. If you didn't know me, check out my channel, Roman Biscotti. So it was just the magical moment of wow. To me, what I've always thought about other dimensions and magical places is real. It just is. I just felt it and it connected me. And I just love her acting, but her story is tragic and sad, but to me, Dorothy is real. I
Mhm.
don't care. Dorothy is real. Somebody, uh, Frank L. Baum, and all the other greats who come, Tolkien, everyone who comes up with these stories, I believe they're channeling
Yeah,
truth.
I was gonna say they're channeling.
And this
Mhm.
is a real place to me. And Dorothy is that key to me. Whenever I can never that movie will never get old for me. Never, never, never.
Yeah.
You could put that on in the background and play it all day while I do my stuff. That is the most magical movie to me, um, to represent wherever you feel you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go, because she already knew she didn't belong in the farm. She was craving something else, and I was always like, yes, I want to go to Oz. I'm waiting for the tornado, and I even have my look at this. I even have my very own hot air balloon. I am
There you
waiting
go.
I
to
love
get
it.
into it and go.
Yeah. I think for me, it what never got old. I don't watch it as an adult as much as like I used to. It hasn't. It's been a while, but for me, as a child, it never it never ceased to happen for me when that door opened and you went from that black and white sepia into
Yes.
that
Yeah.
burst of color, and there
Yeah.
were just flowers and everything. And to me,
Right?
talking about it from my childhood memories gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
And it was always sad when I knew that when she was going home. I'm like, why? No, why? Stay
I was like,
there.
what's wrong
Stay
with you? Don't go
there.
home. Are you crazy? You're in Oz. Everything's fine now.
Oh, no.
What are you, nuts?
I never understood why she went home. I was like, girl, I would stay in Oz.
I can't with
I mean,
her.
you had three best friends right there. You had those people.
Yes.
The for me the favorite was the horse of a different color. Being an
Yeah,
artist,
right.
every time I would hear that horse, I'd be like, I wait
Yeah.
for the next color, even though I knew it was coming. It was still like every time. It was
Such a
magic.
magical film for its day, because it was in the 1935.
Nineteen,
Jay's just put there, and
yeah, I
it's
was
like, could it
relooking
even
1939. Yes.
still hold up well?
I
Because
would never, ever, ever, and everybody knows this. When my magical portal opens and takes me to Oz or whatever, I am not coming back. Bye.
no, exactly. Me too, Tanji. We're off. I'm not coming back on that tornado, and I am coming back with those ruby slippers.
Right.
Keep your ruby slippers.
Howdy, Daryl.
Speaking, I
Daryl's
don't know if you
back.
can see them.
Oh yes.
Oh, you're wearing. Oh,
I got the fake ruby
awesome.
slipper.
But
Give
The
what
me
other
about
ones
that
didn't
ruby
fit me.
Auntie M?
I'll be
Auntie M was
bringing-
clueless. The whole
I
family
couldn't
was
stand
clueless.
anyone in the human world except for Professor.
And for them to let her take the dog, I'm like, woman, stand up for yourself. Stand up for your
Yes.
granddaughter. Tell her
Exactly.
Yeah.
no.
Exactly.
So yes.
Mhm.
And what about you, Ben?
I love Judy Garland. So same as everybody else, really. I saw her first in The Wizard of Oz, and I just absolutely love that film and her voice, especially on Over the Rainbow.
Mhm.
And what an amazing voice she's got. And I just love her singing voice. I think she's got a really unique singing voice, hasn't she, Judy Garland?
Very.
And
Mhm.
Magical.
I love her, and she obviously her daughter's Liza Minnelli, and I watched a lot more, I suppose, of Liza Minnelli as I was growing up. But I just love Judy Garland, and I think she's very well known, isn't she, for that
Mhm.
role in The Wizard of Oz? And she goes down in history, doesn't she, basically? But I saw a recent documentary on her life called Judy, which was, I think, was it Renée Zellweger played
Renee
her?
Zellweger was amazing.
Really?
Oh, I haven't
Amazing.
heard of this. Okay.
And I was quite surprised that she had quite a sad life, didn't she, towards
Oh,
the
I
end?
did know this though. I knew it. I don't know when, but growing up in the 80s, and I just, maybe it was in the tablet, maybe it was my psychic ability. I don't know, but I knew that she was um had addictions and had depression and just wasn't happy. But also being a child actor, not my life was
Mhm.
roses. I'll tell you that, compared to the Hollywood child actors back
Oh my
then.
gosh, what they go through now.
It was like military training,
Yeah,
and it was horrible. So I could feel that sadness. I always felt that with her,
yeah.
watching her in
Yes.
anything. I just
Especially
But
felt
Shirley
it.
Temple too. They mistreated that
Yeah,
little
yeah,
girl.
same.
don't you think you can see it in their eyes, though? If you look deeply in
Yes,
their
Oh
the
eyes.
yeah.
soul,
Mm,
absolutely.
It's
definitely.
and
They were
when
treated
Ben
poorly
said that
back
he
then,
loved her
Josie.
voice and her singing, actually she was okay. Judy Garland was the first female artist to win the Grammy Award for Album of the Year, which she won at the fourth annual Grammy Awards for her live recording "Judy" at Carnegie Hall in 1961.
Nice.
The very first female to win a Grammy.
And I think she became more popular
Mm-hmm.
after her
Exactly.
death, I think.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
posthumously, yeah,
Mm,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
More iconic, like Marilyn Monroe.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
And I think a lot of creatives like us, I mean, I can only speak for myself personally, but now that I'm older, I can look back now and understand that, you know, the mental health, sometimes when I've seen people who are very creative are have what is considered a mental health diagnosis or
Yeah,
illness, or just for me, it's looking back now, for a lot of us, it's a gift because we're able to kind of straddle both realms. We have belief in them. We're empathic. We can feel them,
You
and
have an
so
escape where you can go and do
escape.
yourself.
And
Yeah.
for back then, there wasn't any help for individuals to be able to help control those abilities that they had. And so the only thing that they could do was, unfortunately, to escape to, drinking and other substances.
Right.
And a lot of that has improved. So I feel like that, happened a lot to a lot of our beautiful greats that, we have lost even up until recently.
yeah,
It's not easy being creative,
yeah.
but I wouldn't change it for the world. Not
And
one
I'm
bit.
the opposite.
No
I'm like
regrets.
happy go
Yeah.
lucky. I only smoke coffee and drink cigarettes. And I'm like, wee. I want to do stuff. I would. And no one will hire me. Hollywood has not come calling
Yeah.
yet.
I don't understand why. You are
We're
very
just
gifted.
waiting, girl. We're just waiting for that
I mean,
red
I'm
carpet.
getting tired, Hollywood. I'm getting tired. I tried to audition for the female mask. I heard they were going to do casting. So I contacted the people who were doing it. I never heard back from them years ago.
You don't need to hear back
Oh
because
wow.
I
I
think
was
you
like, whatever. I know. I'm
Do
too.
you're too good
independent
for that.
films. Do
Too
something
good.
independent.
I,
Find
I,
somebody.
the problem with me though is it has to be ad lib because I can't remember anything.
Yeah.
But I can do the faces.
Yes. The
But yeah,
exact way studios.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be in that position of anything where you feel like you're selling your soul or you're losing a part of you or being controlled by outside influences to produce entertainment
Yeah,
is not a good place to be. So for Judy, she had no choice. This was, you have to remember MGM and all the big Hollywood big guys were, the boss, and they told these women, they treated them like little girls and said, "You're going to do as we say, or we're going to ruin you."
yeah,
Yep.
So she was stuck in that.
And part of it was the weight as well. I was reading the article and they made comment about her figure. And so
Yeah,
she's having to take all this in as a young kid. Of course, that's going to mess up. I
yeah,
mean, when you're at that young and you're still developing mentally and people are telling you you're too this, you're too that, we got, no, to me it's not worth it. But a lot of, like the stage moms want their kids to be famous, and they want, the money and whatnot, and so they
It's a
push,
shame. It's such a shame. And
their
you don't
kids.
realise it, do you, watching the film, that that's
Mm-mm.
how she was going through. And you
Mhm.
think to yourself, gosh, and it comes out years later, with a lot of Hollywood, young actresses and that now, and it's just, you think, God, what they went through.
To bring us that hour and a
magic.
half of joy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it must have had a lasting effect on her life.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
forget that, do you?
Yeah, Carrie Fisher was actually in a movie with Chevy Chase, and this is going way back. This is me in the 80s now, showing my age, but it was called Under the Rainbow. And it had like the
haven't seen
background.
I don't think I have either. What?
It was somewhere behind or somewhere under the rainbow.
I'm writing this down.
And
Man,
I can
we gotta check
vaguely
this out.
remember it, but because I love Carrie Fisher, I mean, anything with, it's Princess Leia in this movie, it's Princess Leia in that.
Right.
And there was one to do with something connected with the Wizard of Oz, and they had hired a cast of the small actors.
I love Carrie Fisher as well.
Yeah. This is going back in the 80s. I would think it's probably around between 80 and 83 it came out.
Okay,
If I
I'm writing
remember
it down.
correctly. Yeah, my dad had HBO, so I was a latchkey kid. So
Is it a series or a movie?
it's a movie. And see,
Okay.
Gerald has seen it.
What?
So it exists.
Mind blown.
Yep. And Amy's
Gerald,
seen some of it too.
I didn't believe it.
It's weird from what I can remember. But
We love weird. We do weird. Weird is how we do, Heather.
Yeah. It's all about weird.
Hello. Do you even
Yes.
know
So,
I can't believe Gerald's seen that. I mean,
I
shocked.
can't either. I can't with you, Gerald. I can't.
It's wrong. It's wrong, Gerald.
Have you watched The Love Guru yet, Gerald? Mariska Hargitay.
Mariska Hargitay.
Mariska Hargitay. Mariska Hargitay.
Shan loves that movie. That's the part of the movie that I like the best. But the rest, I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, I love Mariska Hargitay.
I'm excited. I'm excited we're all doing this reading for Judy Garland. Been looking forward to it. She came through. Okay. Love her. Okay. But she still has to be motivated. She's happy on the other side. She's doing her thing, but she's still like, certain, like her and Marilyn Monroe, they were supposed to be at the studio at 2:00. They show up at 6:00.
Mm-hmm.
So she still has that kind of no concept of time. And she floated it and wafted in, a little while ago when I was getting ready and talking to her and the teams all week or since we first thought of this.
Wish I could do that.
And then she left. And then I started to do the cards and said, okay, what do you want to say? And the guide stepped in and Angel stepped in and said, sorry, she left, but we're going to talk for her. She's off doing her. She's still flighty.
Judy has left the building.
She's flighty, but she might be in and out. But she was here. She was talking around, but maybe she was bored. I don't know. I was getting ready.
Here we go.
Maybe she was like, well, I'll send my agent in and but she will be coming in and out, but it's mostly her team told me, I speak for me, will be giving me info about her to relay. And she may or may not come by. They don't even know.
That's so interesting.
And I was like, okay.
Gerald put it right up there. It's called Under the Rainbow, released in 1981.
How does he know?
Thank you, darling.
Because it's Gerald. Gerald knows everything.
If it's pre-2000, he'll probably know it.
I think he Googled that. Just saying.
Google is your best friend.
Yes. But you know what? I was surprised. They didn't say why she took that name, but her actual birth name was Frances Ethel Gum.
Oh, wow.
And she performed with her sisters as the Gum Sisters before she got signed on to MGM.
Yeah.
It's something.
I love that name.
Amazing.
Gum. Love it. Hello, I love gum. I'm wearing pink. I look like a pink bubble gum. Bubble.
Well, I look like a humbug.
Lovely pictures of her. Just put that up there for
Oh.
everybody.
I know, right?
It's very beautiful. Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Boy, but everyone loves using that line in movies. It's become one of those, those slang lines that you can, throw into anything.
Which one?
Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas.
Oh, right.
Yep.
I say that to my son all the time.
I say
When
that
the
to myself
neighbors are
every morning.
Right?
Yes, Kala Lizzie, I do believe she knows that we still love and adore
Yeah.
her.
Oh,
We
yeah.
appreciate what she's done.
I got that she's more okay. You have to understand their thinking is different than ours in the 3D. She's over it and she's happy, but she's on to bigger and better things. It's not a part of her 3D attachment anymore. So she's like, oh, I'll float in. Oh, you're going to talk about me? You're going to do a reading? Okay, that's nice. Thank you. Bye. And then she's off to have drinks with, Walt Disney or whoever, whatever, It's,
you can still drink on the other side?
Oh, yeah, you could do whatever you want. There's another live. There's another time. Just like people are from different parts of the world, there's different energies. Some people come from pure light. Some people come from a spaceship. Some people come from another planet. Some people come from Hollow Earth. Some people come from the stars. Blah, blah, blah. It's never ending. So there's not just one specific place. But when my team congregates, we meet on this spaceship in another dimension and, and floating around in the sun. So it's like what do you call that? Like the cantina in Star Wars, like everybody's welcome. Everybody can come.
Yep.
Yes, I know.
Energy is good. They can come through. So she's probably running around exploring with all the aliens, like Men in Black when they're at the, docking port where all the cool aliens
are.
Yeah,
I'm so jealous.
Fun. Why would she want to come sit and talk when she can go mingle with Bloop Tarp from, Squadron 3 planet and fly a spaceship?
Yes. I'm jealous, totally jealous.
Yeah.
I mean, I would too. But she's flitting, I feel her in and out, but she does have her representatives here with me, with their clipboard. Okay, I'm ready to discuss Miss Garland and go ask whatever you want. Here's her energy. We brought it with her. So, but I did feel her. She touched my arm it's always in the bathroom when I'm brushing my teeth. And she was like, okay, it was lovely. Thank you so much.
The most private place.
I'll be back. Right. They know. I just don't care anymore. I just don't care. For some reason, the reception is clearest in the back.
Watch while I'm doing.
And I was like, do you mind?
Well, so everybody, for me, I have to take this off because this is very old and I want to preserve it.
I'm going to get changed, guys, back into my normal self because I'm
Okay.
boiling.
Alrighty.
So I'm still here.
You mean you don't look that fabulous every day, Ben? Stop.
Oh my goodness.
I look like a bad drag queen tonight.
Are you kidding? I'm jealous of your shine. Shine. I think we're both molting a bit, but you're more
Yeah, me too.
Jake and everybody coming there.
Whew. As you can see, the sun's starting to come in, so I may have to adjust. So hopefully there's not too much of a glare.
I think I'm keeping my. Okay, I'm covered in flowers and glitter.
Well, because she's.
But I made this dress cape. I recycled it out of a quinceañera dress or something. I don't know. It was weird. So just cut it up and made it into a cape.
Wow. I'm curious as to ask. I have a question for Miss Garland's assistants. When we get going,
she's how she's in the background and around, but the behind the camera, and then the assistants are there do the interview instead. But she's running around the studio going, "Oh, this is fabulous! What drink is this?" So she's still kind of there. It's just the angels and aliens and guides just said, no, we can't control her. She's flitting around. We're just gonna do the interview for her. I'm like, okay. They'll yell across the show, "Hey, Judy, what was your favorite color?" And she'll yell it back, and then they'll tell me like that. Oh, she did touch my arm in the bathroom, and she was like, "I'm looking forward to it." And then boom, bye.
Oh, at least she did briefly grace her presence.
She did. No, she's sweet. It was sweet, but
Some
it's
are
not.
like-
It's totally different to them as it is to us. She's like, yeah, you know how many people on the spaceship were famous and rich, and Genghis Khan is having a margarita, over in the corner, and it's not because they're not the same people. They're their original energy. They may look like they can look any way they want to, but that's not who they really are, where they come from. When you're here, it's like you're visiting this planet. It's not who you truly are and where you originate.
Now, remember a cartoon when we lost Alan Rickman?
Yeah.
And they had a Men in Black cartoon, and they said, "Man, I can't believe we lost him." And then the other agent said, he's off going to a oh God, now my brain is farting.
I can relate.
David Bowie concert tonight.
Right?
I completely dropped that. But yeah,
it's
he's
okay.
Like,
no,
he goes, here he's going to a
I get it.
Just going to a David Bowie concert tonight. So I thought that was pretty cool. Hello, Linda. Welcome.
Hi,
You're
Linda.
beautiful as well. So, okay, do we want to let Miss Tanji go for your third eye?
Sure. Okay. So I filled you in on the other stuff. Yeah, she's happy to be around. She's still flighty and doing her own thing. She's just not Judy Garland on the other side. She's her.
Yeah.
Okay. I was out having a smoke because then they talked to me there too. I meditate with my Gayatri. And one thing I absolutely 200% heard clearly was she said very, very loudly and not sternly, but directly, "I accept your apology," she said. Not to me personally. It was, I said, "What messages do you want me to convey?" And it was right away, "I accept your apology." Like that. And then she turned. So whoever that was directed to, I'm thinking it's one of the men.
Well, she was married 5 times, and then of course you have all the producers and the directors that took
could
advantage.
be all of them, whoever. She said, "I accept your apology," but she didn't smile. She was just very like that. That was overdue, and finally, but I accept your apology. So she, good for her. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling that was for Hollywood in general, for everything that they put her through.
I'm feeling it that too. I don't think it was directed at one specific person, unless it was this flew out. Lovers. Ha.
I had that card earlier.
Unless it was someone who is not in the positive energy realm and cannot, because certain people cannot get on the spaceship and to congregate and have fun. So maybe he's floating outside of it, and her message to him was, "I accept your apology." And it was like that, but it wasn't mean, but it wasn't loving. Okay, yeah, and the same. Yes,
I'll put Tanji in the hot seat.
Got the lovers, the world, and the star. Thank you, darling. Lovers. This came up when I was doing her reading prior to that, when the team said she'll be in and out, but they will be here. And I see her as it was a struggle to re-adequate, I hear, herself with the other side. Some people are very attached to their 3D bodies, and then the outcome is the star. So we'll get into it. So she's doing great. She's very happy, but that was a part of her that she's like, I no longer associate with that, but I'll talk about it while I'm going to have a martini and play pool with David Bowie over there or whatever. So the past, she had a broken heart and forgotten loss. She was, it was devastating. She really wanted, and I can relate. A lot of us can. When you're thrust in the spotlight and when you're forced to, you're an actor, a child actor, it's like military, do this, take this, we tell you what to do. Back then in the Hollywood, it's not really changed much, but a lot is better now. And she loved what she did, but she didn't get to love whom she wanted to love
Yeah.
and be with. Present, positive actions trump negative. She's very happy on the other side, flitting, floating, and actually going to Oz, going to dimensions, going, whatever she wants, holodeck, traveling, time travel. It's all possible. That's where, in the energy that she's in now, she's very happy. So it's not like if you live somewhere, you grow up and you're like, that's nice. Yeah. But then you're an adult and you get to move to Disneyland for the rest of your life. Are you going to want to, talk about you grew up in the, madhouse? Or you're going to always be happy and talk about the Disneyland part? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the mad growing up in the slum would be the human experience. And then talking about the living in Disneyland or whatever is the afterlife. The afterlife is more exciting for her. So she, she would rather talk about that. And also, you discover you are a star. So, wow.
Yeah.
She's working on new projects and doing new things and literally traveling the cosmos. I see her being a sneaky little elf, creeping up behind people and being a muse, inspired, like just out of nowhere. She'll just walk into a holodeck room and time travel to Earth and be invisible and walk up behind Bobby and say, Bobby, you want to be in a movie and you're going to be a great director. And then walk away giggling, back on the spaceship. And Bobby has an idea. Why do I feel like I should be a director of movies? And Bobby grows up to do something because Judy, in her spiritual essence form, is inspiring others to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But also literally with her music and movies and, her legacy of what we as the 3D realm know. She's having fun on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
pouring
Sure
her
is.
cup, doing things. She doesn't ever want to be restricted back to this. She says what's the word? Not colonization. What's the word? Colonization.
Okay.
Colonization. She doesn't want to be part of the colonization of the 3D. She's had enough of that, and I would too when I go on the spaceship and get to travel wherever I want and whatever time. Hello, interdimension.
So
I want to be
plan on reincarnating.
No,
huh?
not anytime. No, she's like, no, never. But I don't blame her.
No.
And closing out statement of what you want. I know you don't like this, but what you want I'm going to say it. What you want your fans and those who adore you, because it's true, we do. Get over it. What message do you? She's like,
be totally blunt, Tanji, with her.
She is. I am. I don't care. What do you want us to say something nice, Judy, to your fans? What do you want to say?
Oh my God.
I can't repeat what she's going to say. Okay, so make your own decisions. There is a cat gang fight outside my window.
Oh,
it's not Cream Puff.
Hit the fan. No, I think it's Gibbs and Duff. Better not be Cream Puff for her. Some cat's gonna get castrated. It is Cream Puff. Max, go spray Gibbs with water. Oh, Cream Puff, are you okay?
Oh no!
Phew, he's drama. The cat drama. I can't.
It's a cat fight. Well,
Okay.
I'm talking about Judy Garland.
That was wild. Well,
that was
Gibbs
her
is
saying,
getting
"Yay."
old and cray-cray, and he's taking it out on Cream Puff, which is not all right, but I'll deal with him later. Needing guidance. Did you hear it? It was like super loud out there. Needing guidance in a choice. So she really wants people just to make their own decisions and think whatever they want about her. It's none of her business what they think about her.
That's so interesting, Tanji, because you say choice, and I just as you said that, I did pick the Lovers card, which I know you've also picked, but choice.
Oh,
I always think
sure.
of the Lovers card as choice as well.
Right?
So it's interesting that you said that, and that we've both pulled that.
She's
That's
so
a
happy
beautiful
being where
card,
she
Ben.
is that it
Yes,
doesn't matter what anyone thinks of her. But yeah, the choice is like she wants people to know
yeah,
this is up to you how you're going to see others and how you're going to want to be viewed. Make
yeah,
your own choices and don't make the mistakes she made, of course, would
yeah,
be what wise advice.
yeah.
Close the gate. Sorry, that's what I was getting.
Oh,
I love
Where the
that.
cat gang took over. Gibbs
Wow.
is banished. Poor Queen. Come on.
aw.
Max handled it. Thank you, chosen one.
I love
Take
that.
it away, Ben.
So I pulled some cards on like how she is now, and interestingly, in the past, I felt like she worked really hard to get to where she was, and that's the Eight of Discs. There, you can see this person's just like everywhere, and I feel that although she gave us all that joy from the Wizard of Oz and that, I think she had a hard time. I think she worked really hard to get there in the end, and to do all that. So I felt like that was like the kind of message from the past. But currently, I picked the Empress card, and this is Ozma off the Return to Oz, which is I know Judy Garland wasn't in that film, but I almost feel like she's content where she is now, and she's happy. It's
Yeah.
like she's in a new place, and like this Empress is on her throne. She's happy where she is now, as Tanji said. So it kind of matches with everything that kind of Tanji said. And then kind of like I also picked the Page of Discs, and this particular page is like someone who's on a spiritual path. She's almost kind of doing her own thing now. She's moving on into the spirit, and is enjoying being up there. I
Right?
don't think there's any kind of
Uh-oh.
like it's almost like legacy here, but to her, I think it's not as important as it probably is to us. We think it's
Right.
magic, amazing,
Mhm.
whereas to her, it's just like, oh, I'm moving on. I'm enjoying it where she is.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits in with exactly what you said, Tanji.
Yeah, I got the same cards too.
Oh, Fab, what did you get, Heather?
That was great, Ben.
All right. I pulled quite a few because they kept coming.
Right.
So for the first deck I pulled was, of course, for Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I picked up my Secret Language of Color cards,
I
and the
love it.
first card when I was showing earlier when Tanji was talking, she was free from pain once she crossed over. So she was happy. She got free from the pain.
Yep.
Her messages are live an extraordinary life because she did. No regrets. Remember to laugh and rejoice. That's what she's doing.
Absolutely.
And then she blossomed to attract a relationship. So I think in this one here, she was referring to all the relationships that she was in. And a part of that being, be spontaneous, have fun. And look at the name of the card. And allow you
That's a beautiful
allow
thing.
your faith to strengthen you. Hold on to that faith that you have in herself, and which I think I'm kind of feeling like she lost some of that within herself, and especially when the addiction became too much, and she felt overpowered. She started losing her faith, but now that she's on the other side, she has full faith in herself. She understands the um, the path that she had chose to come to
Yeah.
create. And like Tanchi said in the beginning, apologies accepted. I'm at peace. I'm at rest.
Yeah,
The past is the past, and it's time to move on.
Yeah.
And then I pulled another deck because it was just like, okay, now pull this one. Absolute, the Wizard of Oz, magic. Her life was magic. She brought magic to people. Um,
yeah,
Unfortunately, it created some darkness in her life. She had very little to say about what um, she really wanted, how to portray herself, and what she wanted to do in her movies. And I think that's why her singing career is really what took off for her the most, because it was her voice. She could do what she wanted to do with her voice. She didn't have no say, well, you have to say this line, you have to do this, you have to do that. Her music was her freedom. It was her releasing her voice. And she endured a lot in this life. And what she did experience did help her to stay focused and to be here for as long as she was. And that rock too, with the roots and the trees, it's showing that you can still grow even with rocks. Finding your roots, no place like home kind of feel to that.
Yeah,
And
that's beautiful, Heather. That's
I'm going to kind of, I don't know if I want to skip these, but always trust your inner core. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to your intuition, your solar plexus. Even when you go through darkness, there's still light. So don't be afraid of the dark, because that's how you discover the light. And by doing that too, it was able to help her cross oceans, boundaries. Her acting, her singing, it crossed the oceans, it crossed countries, and it gave her a sense of the bravery to go with the strength and the endurance.
yeah.
And the South, adventure. And there's Tanji. This is so cool. It's an oh, it is a space helmet.
Oh
So
wow.
she's going out on her adventures in the spaceship with everybody. She's finding companionship again with the animals, all the different dimensions. And then, I kid you not, the last card was home. There is no place like home.
Wow. Oh my gosh, Heather, that's a really, really interesting read.
And her death was a rebirth for her. And then it was kind of cool because I think we were kind of being, there's the summer, Watchtower of the South. So she's in a happy, beautiful place. And I also got Watchtower of the East.
Oh
So
wow.
that'll be the Tanji, yeah, for spring. So constant blossoming, and she's connecting with her, the divine feminine. She's with the goddess.
Wow.
So, Tanji, really quick. Remember when you were saying she was on spaceships and flying around? And there you go. There's the helmet. There's your astronaut. And it says adventure. So don't be afraid to go on the adventure. She's experiencing and meeting new people, animals, companionship. And the last thing was, there's no place like home on the earth. Oh, she had to go off again, but she'll catch that back. So, yeah, I think she wants us to focus more on to remember the darkness that we go through, that's balanced with the light, like how she did. Because I thought she had actually passed away a lot younger than that originally.
I thought that as well, Heather.
So she was strong.
Yeah.
To be able to persevere that long. And Tanji, while you're talking to your son, rebirth. These are my witch's oracle cards. Summer, Watchtower of the South. So where
that reminds you of Munchkin Land.
Is beautiful. Watchtower of the East, spring, and she's connected with the divine feminine. She's connecting with the goddess, with herself. So
she's loving her empowerment on the other side.
Exactly. And there's no place like home.
I mean, once you reach paradise, whatever that is to you, you never want to go back or dwell in the past. It's like a part of you, but you're like, meh, I don't want to talk about it if I don't have to.
Yeah.
So that's the wisdom she wanted to share,
Yay.
And Tanji, can I ask, do you think from this, I would say she wouldn't want to come back and be reincarnated into another body? Would you say that's right?
I believe so, because it resonates with my core. I ain't coming back. I've been here too many times. I ain't coming back. No thanks. There's other lives and other planets and other things. She's just not a fan of 3D Earth, and I'm not either. A lot of people are not.
I'm the same. I agree, because we've spoke about this before, haven't we? We're very the same. I wouldn't want to come back.
Keep in mind, there's alternate Earths.
Yeah, alternate.
So when she says she's not coming back here, she's not coming back to this particular Earth.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean she won't go to a different one that's run by Tesla, Nikola Tesla, and it's all wonderful. Who knows, right? Floating island. But it's like when you have a job, you do your job. Years later, people say, "Would you ever go back?" You're like, "No."
Yeah.
I'll work again at a different company, but I'm not going back to that.
Yeah.
Why? Why would I do that?
Yeah.
I learned what I had to. I did what I had to, and I blocked, delete, crossed that off my list.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm feeling. Yeah, I'm the same.
We have 15 minutes. Well, about 10 minutes left. Do you want to see if anybody in chat wants us to ask her a question?
Sure.
Answer.
I'm just gonna mute while my son makes his lunch.
Okay. So I think there was somebody that had a question up here earlier. Okay, here we go. Who did she want to love?
Ooh, good question. Who did she want to love?
I'm like, okay, who do I?
I'm hearing pull the bibliomantica. Okay.
You know what's the first thing that popped into my head was herself.
Yeah.
And it was hard for her to love herself. But I'm gonna just shuffle.
Huh. We are part of an ecosystem, not an ego system. So that goes with what you said. Loving yourself, loving your environment. I hear mother, loving the mother.
And her mother, yeah.
It was an Ouroboros, and it was kind of a vicious cycle, but it was a different time. It was a different, it was just an epic lesson that she had to learn and go through and leave a beautiful legacy for others to learn from and grow, from that as well. Yeah, I hear the mother when you said, what did she want to love? I heard mother, but I don't know which mother or love herself more as a mother and would have been, I don't know. I just heard the word mother.
Well, I do believe Kala Lizzie posted earlier that her mom was her stage, and her mom was very, because very, you're going to do this, you're going to listen to what they say, she put the movie first before her daughter. And that might have been.
I'll pull a instant fortune teller. There are changes you need to make to live your best life. You know what they are if you're honest with yourself. So she would want to do, if she could do things differently. Yes, she would want to do things differently. And having a better relationship with her mother, but also mother herself and be a better mother that she wanted to be out of the spotlight. But yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Are you ready, Beth?
Yeah, I got the worker, and that almost fits in with herself because she works really hard, and I think she wishes she'd have loved herself more for that, possibly. But it could also represent the work that she did. Maybe she didn't appreciate how amazing her work was when she was here. So I think it's a mixture of her and the work that she created here. I think the realizing the impact she had on everybody would make you really love the work that you did if it's something that you can review. And I like to think that when you're on the other side, you can review things that you've done and see the impact that you've had on other people. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting, especially what you were saying as well, Heather, about loving herself. I think she did work hard, and I think it was about loving yourself as well through that. So.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Ben. And Tanji. Oh, I love these reads. I got Trust the Seasons, which has to do with growth. When she says, who did she, because I still feel she wanted to be able to love herself more. And I think it was difficult for her because she kept going through these cycles in her life that were unhealthy. But yet she also found growth in them, because the last one here is growth. And wow, the cards just keep coming. Thresholds, birth, rebirth, a seat at the table. So she wanted to be accepted for who Emma was.
Yeah.
Or was it Ethel? Ethel was her Emma, Ethel, or Ethel?
Ethel.
Yes, she wanted that to be at the table. She, wanted to set the Judy Garland aside. And she wanted, sorry everybody if you heard that, my neighbors. Seat at the table. And she wanted the right relationships with people. The harmony. She just wanted love from others, and going through all that, she knew that the only way, that she was ever going to probably be able to be happy and to be in a loving relationship, I think, is once when she crossed over, because the one card said transition, the other one said threshold, so crossing over. And then I got the rose garden, forgiveness, forgiving yourself and being gentle with yourself. So I think in the end, what really she wanted to do most was love herself. So she had the adoring fans. She had, the men that she was married to and everything, but it just never was enough for her, even the love of her children. And it all had to stem with everything that she went through from birth to when she transitioned. And like Tanji said in the beginning, I forgive you. There's the forgiveness, and to be gentle with yourself. And that's her now. She loves every part of herself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm getting all tingly on the list.
Yeah, I'm like, goosebumps on the list. And then, yes, unfortunately, Liza filed the same, but Liza was able to bring herself out.
Oh, that makes. I'm sorry, I just got it. I'm slow. She's laughing at me. She's still hanging around while Liza is alive. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
She's being the mother. Okay, I'm slow. You know this.
And I think she's probably helping Liza through those dark times when Liza, became.
She sees her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that was part of, the strength in the cards earlier about being strong and setting roots. I think that was her still being here to give her daughter that strength to be able to pull through what she couldn't, that darkness.
Yep. That's a good question. What does Judy think of the singing stars of today? Should we make that our final question?
Sure.
Right.
I think that's a fabulous question.
What does Judy think of the singing stars?
Oh, what deck do I use for this one?
I know. I was just thinking that.
I know the perfect deck. Here we go. The Muse deck.
She likes one of the Jonas Brothers, and I think Ed.
Ooh.
Ed Sheeran. Whoa, that flew. Yeah. Yeah. She loves it. We'll harvest ideas that have matured, planting new concepts and goals. I told you, she's inspiring others.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing that. She's whispering words and songs and inspirations and ideas and being a muse and then floating away. People don't even know she's there. So next time you're brushing your teeth, folks, and you all of a sudden start thinking about what you should do with your life, maybe Judy Garland just popped in and she's whispering.
Oh,
looking at your towels.
Dang it. Sorry.
Okay.
I had a Tanji moment. Sorry.
That's okay. She does love, like I said, I got the Jonas brother, one of the Jonas. I don't know which one. And Ed Sheeran. But she loves it. She loves it. And she is helping others, planting ideas in their heads for inspiration. Mm-hmm. Close again. She's like a inspirational Jedi.
Oh, I forgot to put you in the hot seat. I'm sorry, Tanji.
That's okay. No worries.
I'll go to Ben, and then
I got, yes. So what does she think? I think she loves them. I got the Sun card. And also, I got the Night of Rod, so it's kind of like, yeah, she loves their passion, I think, and their drive that drives them with their music, and she likes the fire, I think, within that starts within, because I think she had a fire that started within, and it grew and grew and grew, and I think that's what she likes, is that the creativity that happens still today. People are creating great music, and I think that's what she thinks, that it's that creativity, that spark that speaks to people, and the songs that people think, like Somewhere Over the Rainbow today is such a special song, but it's the message, that it's the messages through song, isn't it, I think, that really connects people to music and singing and things like that. So
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I'm glad.
Never
This
stop
was
moving.
interesting. So before
Beautiful,
I get to
Ben.
my cards, yes, thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
I'm trying not, because my memory is kind of a little off.
Hello. Welcome to
recently.
my brain.
Like I said,
Join
I
the
understand
club.
too much.
Where am I? Where's my lunchbox?
But earlier when we were asking, well, what does she think of, and that Lady Gaga popped in my head, and I said, Heather, you cannot always think of Lady Gaga when you're talking about other female artists on the other side. But then it was like, duh. First of all, you pulled up the Pentacle, the Ace of Pentacles. Lady Gaga was in A Star Is Born. Judy Garland was in the very first A Star Is Born.
That's right.
Yes.
I forgot.
So she
Or I'm
likes
yelling.
Lady Gaga very much for continuing the legacy of that first movie. I had no idea Judy Garland. I thought Barbara Streisand
That was
the first
like
one.
Yeah, that was like the
And
third.
apparently Judy Garland was the very first one. And then
about
Star,
that.
Pinnacle, that boom. I think she likes a lot of the
Connection.
R&B artists. Now, I use the Muse deck, and I know this is like supposed to be like the Nine of Swords, but
The
I use
second.
the Muse deck more like an oracle for me. And to me, that's like her listening, loving that music of like the R&B, the crossover. Now I'm getting also the Five of Voices, so I think I'm feeling is that she's got some concerns for 5 individuals, possibly some female artists that she might be looking over, because 5 of Voices, 5 of Swords. There's some sort of mental struggle there, and trying to gain control of what they want to put in their music, how they're dealing with their health. And I see this, to me, it's like an olive branch for peace. So I think that's her trying to come in and speak to these young artists, whether or not they're actually female or male. I don't think it really matters. But then also she's celebrating them, and there's the 3 of emotions. So I think she's a guiding, like a guardian angel, a guiding light to help some of these musicians, these singers, find their way so they don't lose themselves, like she did. But yeah, definitely Lady Gaga, after that connection, I was like,
Right?
oh, how did I
Love that? I'm gonna go watch. I'm
Yes.
gonna go try to find Judy Garland's version. Kala says that she was in the second.
Oh, she was in
I
the
know
second.
there was 4 of them, and there was a black and white. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. But still part of the lineage, the heritage.
Yeah.
So Janet Gaynor. See, I don't know who these individuals are. So she likes one of the Jonas. Yes, I guess so.
She likes the Jonai and Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is brilliant lyricist. Like, just love his work. I adore him. He's great. Great energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, everybody,
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Heather and Ben. Judy.
Subscribe to
and
Tanji,
Judy's agents.
Roman Biscotti. Whoops, let me here. Ben, please subscribe, like everything with Ben. He's amazing. He's wonderful. Thank you for coming here. Mwah, mwah.
I love you guys. Thank you so much, Heather, for hosting this wonderful show. And
thank you for participating. I know it's
you're
late where you
welcome.
are.
It's so lovely to spend time with both of you. And
Same here.
it's such a good subject matter to talk about because she's such a special person, isn't it? She, Judy Garland. So thank you for
Yes.
inviting me.
I want to read more often with you too. I just love the vibe and how everything just
Sure.
flows.
Yeah.
And then there's Tanji. Please, Roman Biscotti, like, subscribe,
Oh, that way.
share. Yeah. Oh, and for me, it's always it's a Heather and Tanji thing. It's how it's always been.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Heather,
Yes.
Ben, and Judy in
you.
chat. Love you guys.
Yes.
This
Thank you,
was
Miss
great.
Garland.
Thank you, Spaceship
Emma.
Team and
Yes.
Agents for Judy.
Yes.
Yay.
All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.